Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Somebody said something stupid on The View. And it dominates the news cycle for how long? What about CNN? They got it wrong once again. Jake Tapper was rude. Jake Tapper was arrogant. MSNBC, same story. Mika and Joe, they outdo themselves every single day. Here's the deal, though. It is totally okay for crazy people on crazy networks to say crazy things.
The party should be led, to your point, by young women of color, right? Because young women of color are the reasons that Democrats do actually have some of these wins. And we know how to communicate in ways that reach that more moderate voter.
That is pretty crazy. It's also very self-serving. It acts like they're trying to lift all boats. No, it's a self-preservation, self-promotion move. Here's the thing, though. Conservative media, we feast on this stuff too much. The election's over. Trump won. There are bigger, better things to be looking at and more important things. And shall we look at that victory? If you break it down by county, this was overwhelming. This was beautiful. And some glorious things are in the offing, right? Law and order, a return to law and order. This stuff will not be tolerated or explained away. Kids massing, running into a 7-Eleven, taking everything in sight. This will be called what it actually is, child abuse. Let's see here. Women's sports will be protected. This is fantastic stuff. Making it happen, however, is not automatic. It's going to take policy. It's going to take tenacity. We will secure the border. That's going to be, well, that's going to happen pretty instantaneously with some of those executive orders. We will be energy independent. How's that for a change, right? We used to have it. Now it'll be back. Peace in Ukraine. Finally, we'll be talking about peace in Ukraine instead of how much money are we going to send to Ukraine. Respect of the world. President Trump is already commanding it. He's not even president yet. You saw him over there in France, Notre Dame. He is the leader of the free world right now. Prosperity will be returning. Policy base, yes. Energy base, all this stuff, hard work, lots of policy, lots of leadership. But the details, the devil's in the details, and it's going to be important to go into them. Let's see, the end of woke. I mean, this is a no-brainer, right? But it will be a battle. The liberals are going to fight on, but I relish the fight, and I think we've already won it. It's just a matter of making it happen. Made in America, a priority. Making stuff in America. President Trump is all over that. This tariff thing is going to help big time. I thought that was trick photography when I saw that the first time, to be honest. And how about this? A true winner in the White House again. Joe Biden was, what was he? An imposter. A lifelong politician who finally hit it big, kinda. This is somebody I think children can relate to or can look up to. I know, there's language sometimes in the tweets, but what he represents to me is hard work, triumph over adversity. Joe Biden had a smile and a handshake. That's it. And what was in it for him? This man has been tested. This man has something to teach every single one of us.
4 years ago, we took a wrong turn and lost our purpose. We lost the strength that makes Americans who we are. If we dared to speak the truth, it was called hate speech, and our values were labeled shameful. That's when everything we care about fell apart. We surrendered our borders, our paychecks, and our courage. Our patriotism was called toxic. Men could beat up women and win medals, but there was no prize for the guy who got up every day to do his job. Now we're being asked to settle for the way things are. And we're wondering if America can make a comeback. We can, because we've done it before. When we get knocked down, we don't stay down. We get up again. We fight. We fight. We fight.
How about that one? I never saw it like that. The fight, synced up with his words. It's people can relate to this. This is a story for children, even aspiring for greatness. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with being at the bottom and coming back to the top. President Trump in jail, and then President Trump Person of the Year. Now, this is going to happen to most of us, right? We're probably not going to be arrested, hopefully, won't be president of the United States, but that's okay. Our challenges seem manageable compared to these. And I think that's very, very inspirational and a very positive thing for people, Americans of all ages. Next. The drones still out there, still being not explained by the government. Joe Biden finally, reluctantly, confusingly, on his way to another vacation in the early part of the work week, had this to say.
Nothing nefarious, apparently, but they're checking it all out. I think it's just one. There's a lot of drones authorized up there, but we're following them closely. So far, no sense of danger.
A non-denial denial. What does he know? Nothing nefarious. Kind of know what nefarious means, something, bad. But let's look it up and see what it actually means. Nefarious means flagrantly wicked or impious, evil. All right, I can see how somebody could say drones that are surveilling us or doing something that the government wants and they don't want to tell us. They could possibly explain that in their own heads. It's an interesting word. Again, they are trying to not illuminate, but obfuscate. And I don't like it. And they work for us. Have you seen this? The headline news that drones spotted near at least 17 military bases located next to Chinese-owned land in the United States. A handful of members of Congress with experience in the intelligence community have been saying, yeah, China most likely. But this explains something else. A power grab, potentially. Mayorkas. Now, he never tells the truth, but sometimes the truth kind of seeps through anyway. He was on with Andrea Mitchell today. Take a look. We've got to break it down here, but something's just off.
We know of no threat to people's security. And if we learn of any cause for concern, we will take action and we will communicate immediately with the American public.
Okay. Very precise, very specific, but overall not informing us of much of anything. And then they try the whole, oh, this is always happening. We're just noticing for the first time.
There are, and there have been, thousands and thousands of drones flown across the United States for years. Commercial drones, recreational drones, law enforcement drones. I spoke with an expert yesterday who has recorded over his home in California over the past 6 years, more than 13,000 drone detections. And so this is actually not a new phenomenon.
I think when you're a drone, I don't know, the drone guy is not a good representative of all of us. This is not a new phenomenon. Okay, we're all wrong and you guys are right, and you're being all cagey and weird, using words like nefarious. It's not nefarious. It's a power grab. It is a power grab, and he says so.
What we need in the federal government is we need our authorities to catch up with the development of drone activity over the last 10 years. And so we have asked Congress for not only an extension of our authorities, but an expansion of them.
More authority, an expansion of the authority they already have, more authority. Authoritarians wanting more authority. How about that? Now, what kind of authority are you talking about?
We, for example, need the ability, as the president-elect has communicated, the authority to take down drones when the situation so warrants. We believe our authority in that regard is quite limited. And so we're hopeful that in this moment, because of the public's concern, which we well understand, Congress will give us those expanded authorities.
So the public is concerned, worried. Do they want us worried so they can gain more authority, more power? And what is going to be in the details of those things? Because it's not making sense. 23 years after 9/11, they actually had authority to shoot down those planes on September 11th. The government doesn't have the authority to take out dinky little drones. Something is going on here. They want more authority. It's a power play. It's a power play. I don't trust that man. He has lied before. We all have seen it. The border is secure, but that little thing right there, yeah, they want us on edge, so they'll get more authority. Still, we need to do some more investigation, but I think we're onto something. And then there's the matter of the Chinese and the hack. Have you heard about this? Strangely, it's not received all that much attention, but how China hacked America's phone network. Yeah, we're all talking about the drones. Meanwhile, the Chinese are reading our text messages from the guy on the street to the guy in the White House, potentially.
It's a very, very serious matter. China has, in fact, hacked into our telecommunications providers, some of them. And the extent of it is quite serious.
Okay, now you tell us. And reluctantly, by the way, not, and then weirdly, this too.
Just today, our Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency published mobile communications best practices that everyone should read, especially people in positions of responsibility in the United States government.
All right. So I went and found this thing that the Cyber and Infrastructure Security Agency put out. First off, CISA. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says that CISA is a censorship organization, not to be trusted. That's from Robert F. Kennedy, and I believe him. Not these people at CISA. This is a very peculiar document that they issued to the American people, but it's actually directed more at senior members of government. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency has identified cyber espionage activity by People's Republic of China, government-affiliated threat actors targeting commercial telecommunications infrastructure. Okay. This guidance specifically addresses highly targeted individuals who are in senior or senior political positions and likely to possess information of interest to these threat actors. All right. So far, so good. I could totally see this happening. But what CISA comes up with, their recommendation fix to this problem: use only end-to-end encrypted communications. Interesting. Going a little bit further here. Adopt a free messaging application for secure communications that guarantees end-to-end encryption, such as Signal or similar apps. Next, please. Additionally, they may include features like disappearing messages and images. Now, I find this fascinating because as this administration is leaving, they're saying that text messages is dangerous, typical texting, which are required to be archived by the government, and they seem to be encouraging those messages to be deleted because they can't be trusted. So you have to go migrate away from short message service, SMS. So who does a lot of SMSing, especially lately? Well, Hunter Biden, Liz Cheney, Cassidy Hutchinson, right? All of these people have been texting each other like crazy. And now we're told by the federal government, not just regular people, senior people in government, you got to make sure everything is encrypted. So this Signal app that they actually recommend, I have it on my phone, and I actually have my little contact here in the swamp. And I want to show you how this stuff works, because they're supposed to preserve messages for Freedom of Information requests. So let's see here. Where, oops, let me do a typo. What is the, oh gosh, I'm terrible, the deal with drones? Now watch what happens to my message after I send it. Goes away. And watch what happens. They are taken care of. Now watch what happens to that message. See? It disappears. The government wants their messages to disappear. And I find that very suspicious, don't you? The government is recommending this app, and they're saying that the Chinese are responsible? Kind of like the Russians used to be responsible for stuff? I can't prove this yet, but I'm on it, and so is our team.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.